Welcome to Charlotte Execs After Dark. Relationships, business talk, real life. With your host, Timothy Motivation Jones. Charlotte Execs is an organization of professional men and women in and around the Charlotte, North Carolina area who come together, put down the work, and enjoy life. Between live events, members meet on a group call and it's recorded for your enjoyment. Let's listen in.
Okay. Good evening. Can everybody push star? Because I'm doing this a little different tonight. I'm not on my computer just yet. So can we cut out the noise, please, and press star? I can't even see who's on the call right now. Thank you so much. Good evening. This is Timothy Jones. This is Charlotte Execs After Dark. And you are tuning in to a live call. A relationship call. Talk to some people. Hopefully got some good input on tonight's subject, which is going to be the Charlotte dating scene. Okay, I'm online now. The Charlotte dating scene. And just getting some feedback from some ladies and some gentlemen. And let me just go and see who we have on the line to see who's going to get some feedback on tonight. Okay, everybody's muted. Let me mute everybody and then unmute everybody. Let me do that. Okay, everybody's unmuted. Who do we have on the line?
Adrian?
That's who?
Adrian.
Adrian. Glad to have you, Adrian. Who else do we have on the line?
Brittany. Alyssa.
Brittany, Alyssa, Adrian.
Ron.
Who is that?
Ron.
Ron?
That's me.
Good to have you. Is that you, 8405? I'm just going to put your name next to your number.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Got a man on the line. Good. Another couple guys, so they may be able to call in. Who else do we have on the line?
Sylvia Stacy.
Sylvia Stacy, and I heard another name.
Tasha.
Glad to have you all on the line. I still didn't get that last one. I'm sorry.
Tasha.
Darshell. Oh, Tasha.
Yes.
Okay. 1731 Louisiana number. Who's that?
Yes, this is Jason.
Is Jason?
Yeah, this is Jason.
Okay. Jason that came out the other week?
Yeah.
All right, man. Good to see you and good to have you on the call.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah. Who else we have on the line? Buffalo, New York number just called in. And Orlando, Florida. Who's that? Buffalo? Marvin?
Yeah.
Good to have you on the line, brother. Got a few men on the line. Good. Orlando, Florida. And we're going to go ahead and get started in 7256 in Charlotte.
Yes, that's Sylvia.
Sylvia. Okay, I think
That's
we got another man. Dashell?
Yeah.
I think we just got another man on the line, too. Is that Rashid?
Hey, everybody. How's everybody?
What's going on, brother? So we got about 5
right.
men on the line tonight. That's pretty good. Y'all coming to hold it down. Okay. The big debate. I guess we all read the summary in regards to what the call is going to be about, and we just want everybody to be as honest as possible. Don't feel like you have to hold back anything. It's the truth that sets us all free. I still got a lot to learn. I'm sure we all do. And the way I learn is by listening. You know, how much more can you learn best by listening to those who it affects. So I'm listening to the women. That's my research. I don't necessarily read a bunch of books and stuff. I conversate and learn from women what they want and don't want and stuff like that. And thus, this call. So, who wants to be first on what they don't like about the Charlotte dating scene or do like? And then we can kind of take it from there. We're going to piggyback off some things that you say, and we're going to take it from there. Don't all speak at once. I'm just gonna start calling some people. Adrian, you there?
Yes, I am.
We're gonna start with you.
Oh, really?
Yes. I think is this your first time to the call, right?
Yes, it is.
Great. It's a good introduction for you. So you've been in Charlotte, and we see a couple more calls coming in. We'll get to you. You've been in Charlotte, right? For how long?
A long time.
A long time.
Yeah, more than 10 years.
More than 10 years. Are you one that don't like to tell your age, or you don't mind?
I'm pushing 50.
You're pushing 50. Okay. Hey, Bronwyn. So your 10 years in the Charlotte area, what kind of men have you dealt with? Do you see a trend, or is it kind of isolated with each incident? Hold on a second. Let me mute everybody because somebody got a noisy background. Sorry about that. But you can go ahead and start speaking. I'm just going to mute everybody individually.
I think it varies. I've experienced in the Charlotte area. I work in corporate America, so I work for one of the local banks. But I find it hard to date in the workplace. So I end up, meeting people outside, whether it be online or through friends. But the same kind of applies. I find that many men, I don't want to throw an age out because I don't want to say it applies to all men of all ages, I find that they rush to make something happen that is really not there instead of just letting it flow and getting to know each other. They just want to rush to date, rush to do everything and not really take the time to get to know me as a person.
Okay.
But in that case, it throws up signs and skepticism for me because they're rushing.
What kind of skepticism for that they're only out for one thing, or I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but skepticism about what?
There is an ulterior motive behind it, whether they're trying to get one thing, or it could be they need a place to stay, or it could be a variety of reasons. And it just takes too long for me to figure out what that is, and I get missing.
Do you find yourself reading into stuff a little bit too much, maybe paranoid off of a bad situation at all?
No, because I basically didn't date for a lot of years, and now that my kids are grown and gone, I'm making an actual attempt to date.
Okay.
Like in the last 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Before that, I was not attempting to date because I had smaller children.
Okay, so have you had a guy try to get close to you only to try to live with you?
Actually, that was recently, and I used to think that was other people, but that literally happened to me recently, which is why I'm on this call.
So what went down? He kind of spent some time with you and just didn't want to leave?
Well, the thing is we spent time together for like the first, week or so, had a lot in common. He said all the right things. We spent time together, whether at his house, my house, whatever, and then he started throwing hints that I didn't like. Like, if you asked me to live with you, I would in a heartbeat. And I'm like, well, why would I ask that? I didn't ask that question because I'm trying to get to know him as a person. I don't need a roommate. I didn't ask for a roommate. I didn't ask for a husband. I'm just trying to get to know you as a person. You're kind of putting the cart before the horse, and I was like, I don't know you well enough. And he kept insisting on buying me things and doing things for me, and I was like, ho, 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 ho. And it just, the more he did, the more I pushed back.
Did he have a place to stay already? I mean, he's able to buy you things. So.
Yes, he did. He had his own place. He had a job, and, he was doing okay. He had his own business. But, he was just wanting to rush the whole relationship thing, without, waiting to get to know me. And I was nah.
How long had he known you before all this turned up on you?
Actually, he was showing signs in the first 7 days.
Wow.
He was showing signs in the first 7 days.
Ron, what's your take on what you've been hearing?
What's my take, Ron?
Who'd you call? Did you say Ron?
Ron. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard me, but I was laughing.
Right.
When she started talking about, he just wanted a place to stay. I was kind of tripping on that.
Right.
Yeah, that's that makes it hard for the rest of us.
You ever had a woman come at you with anything similar?
Oh yeah, kind of. Sure have, but I don't do that. That's just not me. Ain't nobody moving in here.
So Ron, tell us, how did it go down? How did she try to ease on into your crib?
Well, it wasn't, actually, there was one that was pretty bold recently. They were in the process of breaking up, I guess. I think it was a marriage. And, I knew this person a long time ago before they got married. And turns out we connected just because she showed up, generally, and wanted to know if I still had a place for rent. Because I had some rental stuff going on. And I told her no, it was occupied. And then she proceeded to, because I live by myself, and, she proceeded to hint, well, it was more than a hint about, renting one of my bedrooms upstairs.
Really?
Nope. Sorry, I can't do it. Mm-mm.
So she was looking for a refuge to get away probably from a bad situation, just kind of
Yeah. Until she got herself together or what have you, which was fine. I give you some real estate agent numbers or whatever, but nope, that wasn't happening.
You ain't feeling that. I hear you. Dashell. Didn't Dashell say you? Dashell, is that you on the line? Dashell. Maybe that's not her on the line. I put her name next to somebody else's number. Probably. Alyssa.
Yeah.
Y'all get quiet. Okay, good. Kind of mean you've been dating.
So that was a big sigh.
Yeah, because it's just frustrating to me. I mean, I haven't been trying to date for real that long. I've been doing the hookup thing for the last, 6-7 years. But now, I'm older. I'm 46, about to be 47, and there's only so much hooking up I really feel like doing anymore. I would like a relationship. So, you try to change up your MO, where you go to meet people, how you project yourself, and change all the pictures on the little profiles. And, I know I'm not putting that vibe out there that I'm just looking for a hookup. And so I've been meeting some guys when we go out or whatever, but it's like, what are you on the profile for when you don't, on the website, if you're not really looking to find anyone? It's just frustrating because I think I said it right up front, what I'm looking for. And I know I say it when I'm talking to them, but it's just, I'm not meeting any guys who really want to have a relationship unless there's something wrong with them. All the ones that I've been getting anyway. Physically, medically. This one has diabetes or high blood pressure. They're starting to feel, their mortality. They're looking for a nursemaid. I don't think so.
That's hilarious.
I could be there for sickness or in health, but you got to give me some healthy years first.
Right. Right.
Good point. And can I get on this? Can I introduce the topic?
Was that Marvin? You said introduce a topic?
Introduce a topic, meaning speak on this subject right quick.
Oh, yeah, you can speak on this, sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, generally, I think that every human being is looking for relationship. I think that's one of the things, because we're talking about Charlotte dating scene. I think one of the things we all want is companionship, fellowship, being being loved by other people, kind of sharing yourself with somebody else. And as far as I'm concerned, one of the real reasons why, not only in Charlotte, but really could take this anywhere, I've traveled around a little bit. The thing that I find is men and women don't actually, and that's why I like Charlotte Execs, that, oftentimes the way you guys do things is because men and women don't generally take the time to engage in positive platonic relationships where you just get to appreciate people just for who they are. A lot of times men and women, as far as I'm concerned, we deal with each other only in those circumstances when it's about dating. In other words, I only want to hang out with you if I'm dating you, but you're not interested in what I'm trying to do as far as my life. And what happens, I think, is if we, like this group and others that you guys are working with, if we practice, I think, positive platonic relationships as a general rule, in the process we'll meet people who maybe we have an interest in. And I think that's what's wrong with our society, and I think that's what we really need to get to.
No, that's good, man. I feel your whole.
I could definitely add to that if I may.
Go ahead.
I think that's huge. Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I think there's another facet of that, and that is, aside from that, what he just said is to just get in touch with yourself. Just know who you are and spend some time by yourself, and figure all that out instead of trying to. Because to me, what ends up happening when you don't do that, as a guy, and I can probably just speak for myself, but you kind of end up taking on that other person's identity, and you don't really have your own. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we was actually speaking on that last week about really kind of getting to know yourself. We really was.
Yeah, and then then you're okay with that plutonic piece. You know what I mean? Because you already know what your values are. You know what you're looking for. You know what you like, what you don't like, and so forth.
Right.
And then that plutonic piece is okay because you're just as interested in making sure that other person brings value just like they are. Especially if you've been through some crazy situations like we all have, I think.
Right.
Yeah, because then what happens, like the young lady was saying, then what you end up doing, if you're not self-fulfilled first, you end up getting in a relationship for the wrong reasons. Like, what can you do for me? In other words, what do you bring to the table as opposed to what I bring to the table? And that's how it's supposed to be. If you don't know who you are, you gotta bring something to the table for a relationship to work, whether that's a sense of purpose, a sense of identity, a sense of, I'm here because I have value. Then you will otherwise look for the other person to make you valuable. I wear a ring sometimes. I wear a ring sometimes, and it's just a little one, and I got kind of basic clothes because, I don't want the ring, I don't want the clothes to make me. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to make the situation something. So, you make the clothes. Yeah. So relationships is that way, and we got a lot of beautiful young ladies that don't have a lot of guys who know who they are, and that's why they abuse the women because they don't know the purpose of a relationship.
Right, and vice versa. We want to hear from Rashid and Jason. Rashid, what's your take on what you've been hearing? Oh, Jason,
can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I had everything on mute.
Appreciate it.
So I was just kind of doing what you started off saying in your introduction about learning by listening, and I was just kind of taking it all in. Honestly, though, I was kind of surprised to hear the story about what took place. What's the first caller's name? Was it Adrian or the first person that spoke? Okay. Yeah, I was, because I've never heard that from a woman's perspective. I've gotten really disenchanted with the dating scene, so to speak, because of the last several experiences, even some I've had through the couple I've been through here on this platform. Man, it's just been like it was like hearing just the opposite of what like my experiences have been lately. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm not pressed. I'm good.
Right.
I didn't hear.
Yeah, and yeah, I did get the message from Bronwyn and Nikki. I understand y'all are on the line. Y'all at a social, but y'all on the line. Listen, we appreciate that.
Yeah, we're here. We're here, Timothy.
Yeah, I see y'all numbers. Appreciate that. Okay. Jason, what's your take? What's your take on this Charlotte dating thing?
Yes.
If it's kind of noisy.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my first thought, despite I feel like I'm so, my age may not dictate it, but I feel like I'm so old school. Like I feel so detached from worldly things. It's so strange beyond my age, but I've always been that way. I say that to say that things to me that really have changed the dating scene nowadays. For one, is technology. First off, for the first lady that spoke and said how the guys in a rush nowadays because of technology, that is the rush. Like we all want new. Like back in the day when people had a job, they stayed at their job 20 and 30 years. They was committed. That's how stuff was traditionally. Nowadays, there's so many options of whatever you want in this lifetime. So when somebody say you need to wait for something that's worth it, you're going to say, man, why I'm going to wait for that when I can go over here and get it somewhere else? Like, that's the world we live in, and I'm adjusting to it. The next thing is for on the dating scene, people, as the two men and other people said, is that people don't know who they are because I love people watching. And I always wonder, why do people do the things they do? Why did you go buy this shirt? And there's so many elements around you that walked you right to that shirt. And you think you did it, but you really didn't. From the music, from the fact your friend said, I like that shirt. From the music video to say, like, oh, you got to be fly. So a lot of people don't know who they are because they doing what everybody else do. So first off, you got to step away from all that to find out what you are and who you like and what you're looking for. And then the last part is, a lot of people live by their titles and their jobs. If I ask you who you are, I per se don't really care about what you do. I'm happy that you make a living and you're trying and you want to grow in life. But beyond that, like, who are you? A lot of people can't answer that question. We lead off with our titles at our job and we wear it like a badge of honor, and we go from work and go home. And for nowadays, if you're a manager at work, you try to go home and be a manager to your companion or whatever. And sometimes that don't work out, and that don't work out in the world. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then, the last thing I would say, definitely, you got to work on it every day, and you always got to, pause every time you go to do stuff and speak to people on this note is humble yourself. Like a lot of people have arrogance or because in our life, we always comparing to the best we ever had, no matter what it is. Subconsciously, we always comparing to the best we ever had. A job, a person, a date, a kiss. Everything we're doing is the best. We're trying to do better. We're not trying to go backwards. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even if God say go back, he's like, man, why? Like, I don't want to. Even though in the long run, end up being the best thing ever happened to you. So humbling yourself, to me, is the biggest key after all the other things. Is, in order to find somebody, it's like you need to humble yourself and realize you can't bring old information to a new situation. This is a new age, and you're single. You can't be all uppity and stuff. I think.
Let me ask you this. Go ahead. Finish that thought. And I got a question after that. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays, I think a lot of men don't approach women sometimes because they seem kind of intimidating. It's kind of intimidating from the point where, it's classy, but then there at the same time, we just kind of look and just talk ourselves out of it. Like, man, she's nice looking, but I know she probably got a man, or she probably won't want nobody like me, or I don't dress up to par and stuff like that. Like, we don't even seem like we could walk up and have a normal conversation. But really nowadays, where do you go and have a conversation like that? You find people like-minded, that's willing to humble themselves and talk. So like the last event I came was my first one. I enjoyed it because that's like something that don't even, that's like a interaction that don't really happen no more nowadays. To sit down in the area, hey, how are you doing? Where you from? And then after a while, you saw everybody warmed up to each other. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, everything became easier. Exactly. Everything was easier. It was a cool vibe in there. It was like, wow, I enjoyed this. It kind of reminded me, like when your family get together on a Sunday and they barbecue. That's what it felt like. But when you go back out in the world, it's not like that. It's totally, when you walk out of that little setting, it's not like that. If you don't know somebody or you a baller, like certain things you can't even get in, they won't give you a second look nowadays. So, like that's my take, to a certain degree about it all when I just think about it off the top of my head.
Okay, but let me ask you this. You said people need to humble themselves. Now, can you explain that, what you mean by that? Because some people are saying, I'm not lowering my standards for anyone. What do you mean when you say humble yourself?
Well, I mean, to me, like, I mean, you can't, like, if you don't know what's coming up next in your life, you just hope is great, especially in the category of relationship and your next person you want to be with. But in order, to me, for you to get above and beyond, you have to eliminate residual of the best you ever had. Like, you're limiting yourself. That's how I feel. That's what I'm saying. Humbling yourself is kind of saying, hey, I've done it my way and it hasn't worked all this time. So I need to be more open-minded on the possibilities. And, it's almost like you almost got to let yourself be vulnerable, inside, not exposing that you're vulnerable. I'm just saying inside, to be open enough to receive. Like, you can't receive something with a closed hand. That's how I feel about stuff.
And every relationship is unique. You can't gauge it on, the past or whatever.
I definitely agree.
And
I kid you not.
Okay, one second. Kwame, we appreciate you for joining the call, and I see two more numbers that we don't know who those are. Appreciate y'all for being on. Hopefully y'all will go ahead and chime in. There's quite a few callers, 369-12. 18 people on the line, so we definitely want to have room for everybody to speak their piece. Any ladies got something to say? Stacy, you there? Alyssa? Dashiell? You can, even if you're not dating, y'all still can go ahead and speak on some things that y'all may be hearing.
Hey, Tim, this is Stacy. I wanted to talk. I was one of the ladies, and I just wanted to kind of piggyback off of what the guy was just saying. I'm one of the ones who's saying I'm not really wanting to lower my standards. And when I say that, I don't say that in a stuck-up way. But the fact is, I have a lot of men that do come to me, and it's sexually. And I never actually had a guy to approach me and be genuine about it, like, hey, I want to talk to you or get to know you. They start off that way, like it's their representative, and then after a while, it goes sexually. And the crazy part about it is I don't even carry myself like that. And it's kind of, mind-boggling to have someone approach you in that manner when you're not even carrying yourself in a sexually manner. So me personally, when I say I'm not going to lower my standards, like I want somebody to see who I am for me, the type of person I am, meaning I don't have to prove to you the qualities that I have of myself. And I'm not going to downplay who I am to meet somebody where they're at. Not that I'm better than them, but it's somebody, as that saying, it's somebody for everybody. Just because this person is on level 5 and you're on 10, that's not saying I'm better than them, but if I'm not careful, they may slow me down in pursuing my destiny and my purpose in life. And that just goes with a general relationship, like a friendship. You want to be with like-minded people. So, as far as talking to someone, if they ain't out trying to pursue their vision or their destiny or know where they're going in life, I'm not going to slow down to talk to them. So that's when I say I'm not going to lower my standards, but not saying I'm better than anyone, because I'm open-minded. And I can honestly say I am 34. I'll be 35 beginning next year. I have never had a good companion. I've never had a good relationship. I don't know what it's like.
No, that's good. And see, and that's a different take of it. Actually,
right.
once we launch this site tomorrow, it's going to be a video on the homepage. It's going to be the topic of next week's conversation. And in that video, it's a documentary about how men are running to this place, Brazil. Men are running to Brazil to find women, or get treated like a man and all that, like a man and all this stuff. But there's one situation in there where a woman said, if I'm making $100K, then he got to at least make 75. Or if I got this degree and we're gonna start thinking about children, then that needs to come into play. We need to talk about those things, and like he needs to take education and stuff more important. So I guess some of them, when they say not lower their standards, they're talking about monetarily, educational wise, and things like that. So they got these stiff standards that if nobody comes to the table with that, then they on to the next one, and then you look up, it's 20, 30 years later, and they still with them same standards. So you come in with a different angle, but some people do have a dollar figure on that standard, And men too, men. I don't never like to put anybody in the box. Men have their standards. She gotta have it. She gotta be a size 2, and then he ain't nowhere near the gym. She gotta do this, and she gotta be looking like that, and he needs some touching up himself. So. I guess we all can work on those standards.
So, and then another thing, I'm sorry. So I wanted to say another thing is that boggles my mind is I get approached by a lot of married guys. Like, I don't even understand that. If you're married, like, why are you even out here acting single? You can take the ring off, but you still see the imprint on your finger. But it's just crazy how guys out here and they just perpetrate like they're single, but then they're married. Like people I meet, I treat them like a job. That's everybody. I give you 90 days before you even reap the benefits of me as an individual. I treat them like a job, and that's not in a bad way, because a lot of times, like the other guy said, we downplay ourselves, or like, well, let me try to be something she want to be, or I hear how she's talking, let me try to meet her up this way. But like at the end of the day, be 100 with it. Be yourself. So me personally, I treat everybody like a job when I meet them. I give them 90 days. Some of them don't make it past 9, but hey.
Wow. Let me ask you this, Stacey. Let me ask you, are you saying that the man becomes sexual during your initial interaction, or are you saying like after talking to him for, a few days, that's when he kind of spring it up on you?
Like after talking to me, like And I'm gonna just, like I'm not a club goer. I love to dance. Like I'm not meeting these people like in a club, and I say that to say as if like we didn't meet grinding or anything like that. I could just be at the gas station, and then somebody approached me, and they'll look at me up and down or whatever, and then after a while, they'll try to hit that, send me a picture. Like who the hell still sends pictures? Like no, I'm not doing it. You saw what I look like when you met me. I'm not sending you no picture, and then it starts out with, send me a picture. Then it starts out with what you're wearing. And then after that part, it goes downhill. And then that's when I have to let them meet my block friend and just block them.
Wow. And it kind of reminded me of what Jason said earlier about it's technology, and it's just so many to choose from. And when you not only so many to choose from, but when you see so much ratchetness, you see so many women doing these things, you kind of assume that the rest of them like that too. It don't matter about age, 18 to 68. You see so much of it. Just like when we was growing up, we used to think all white girls sucked penis. That's just what we thought. All white girls. We didn't think black girls did that, because that's what we were exposed to, Playboy, and we didn't have all what we have today. And that's just what we automatically assume. So nowadays, you're just going to assume that the girl is going to give it up. She ain't getting no 90 days. Matter of fact, if she don't show too much interaction towards that direction in a week, he's on to the next one. So you got your 90 days. He got his, like you said, 9 days. I know a lot of girls who liking the dude, feeling him. As soon as he bring that up, and she not feeling, she not responding in the way he want, he stops calling. Any woman on the line ever dealt with that?
I have a question about that.
Go ahead.
Because I mean, like I said, I was Alyssa.
Okay.
I've been very much into the hookup culture for years now. And yeah, it was just about meeting somebody you found sexually attractive. I traveled a lot for work, so I might not even be in this city that long. I don't have time to form a relationship with you. I'm just bored. And that's all I wanted, and I walked away from it. And it wasn't because I felt bad about myself. I just liked sex, and I didn't have anything else to do. So now that I don't want to be in that area anymore just because it wasn't, you don't have anything for later. You know, it's, you're in it, and they're gone, and you don't talk to them anymore. And I don't want to go alone. But I am trying to figure out where is that line. Because I'm not going to waste my time and talk to somebody for 90 days, and I don't even know if the sex is going to be good, because sex is important to me. So I might like you, I've been talking to you, I'm feeling you, then I get it and it's garbage. Now I got to walk away, and I'm going to feel bad about that.
Wow. So listen,
But
that's what
I
you
don't
meant
know.
earlier. Is that what you meant earlier when you said that you could? There's only so much hooking up you can do. You was actually talking about just sexing, hooking up.
Oh, I was talking about, yes. And what killed me was the guys would say that's what they wanted, but they don't want it if that's what you want. So I meet you, and I'm telling you, this is just casual. It doesn't mean anything at all. I don't care who you're seeing, because I'm not trying to marry you. But let me not call, or let them do something, and you're not calling to see where they are, because I don't care. I mean, I'm not even in town. I can't get to you. So what you're doing doesn't matter to me. They didn't like that. They would just, it just hurt their little feelings. So that was hookup culture, but not trying to be that now.
Glad for your honesty.
Wondering,
yeah.
where is the line if you're trying to have a relationship? Like, at what point is it not where they're just looking at you as a hit and quit? Outside of 90 days, which is a long commitment to me to be talking to somebody I might not even want to fight with. That doesn't make sense to me at all.
Ryan, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I hear exactly what you're saying, and you know, and I was even in that place myself at one point, but I understand it now, you know, and it's based on some reading and some experiences and stuff. Let me just throw this out there. This article that I read not too long ago, it probably was one of the most impactful articles I ever read, right? And it talked about men, myself included, so I'm not trying to put nobody down, but it talked about exactly what you're saying about the whole sex thing and, you know, just wanting sex and just wanting to get physical and blah, blah, blah. And it got pretty deep, and it came from a reputable source. It wasn't like in the Inquirer or nothing, right? But generally, and I'll just keep it short, they talked about a lot of men, you know, self-worth, and we talked about a little while ago, you know, self-worth, self-esteem, et cetera, just not really in place. So what do? You wrap clothes and jobs and titles and whatever else, all that external stuff. And, you know, so when a guy gets with a woman, subconsciously they already kind of think that she's too good for him, subconsciously. And that, you know, she's going to figure them out at some point and be gone anyway. So suddenly the you know, it's like the physical thing is more of a Band-Aid. It's more of a, let me get my little shot of manhood so I can feel like a man for a little while. And that don't last very long because that's supposed to really come from within, you know. And then on to the next, you know, it's insatiable. You never, you know, you can never fill that up if that's where you're getting your manhood from. That's and just what you're saying, where, you know, you reversed it when you weren't, you know, calling them or whatever, and then they, you know, they weren't in control. They weren't getting their manhood thing. You know what I mean? When you know, you were kind of acting like, well, you know, this is all I want or whatever. You know, so that wasn't feeding that. You see what I'm saying? That makes sense? So yeah, it was unbelievable, that article. So suddenly, and then also to piggyback on it, then, you know, then the cheating and screwing around and stuff. suddenly doesn't really mean that much because deep down inside you think she's going to figure you out and be gone at some point anyway, you know? And so, because, you know, when you into somebody, you love somebody, the last thing you want to do is hurt them, right? So, you know that, you know, if she finds out you with another woman, it's going to crush her. That's, you know, that's not what you want to do if you love somebody, right? So, and then it goes back to what the brother was saying, you know, your values got to be at a certain level. You're not going for low-hanging fruit. You know, if your values are a certain place, you are going to hold yourself with a certain level of respect, and, you know, you're just not going to do that. You know, I'm bigger than that. You know what I mean? So anyway.
And each situation, obviously, you know, it's different. Every man is different. You know, men are not. I hate when people try to put men in a box because I'm not like what he did, and you know how he acts and how he thinks. And each woman on this call is different backgrounds, just a different internal moral that she just has on her own. Because me personally, I'm not out here trying to bang every female, you know, that I run into. I mean, there's some scary stuff out here.
Generalizing.
I know. I hear you. I'm just saying, there's some stuff out here you can't get rid of, and I ain't trying to get that. So you know, you got to, you know what I'm saying. So every woman that I meet that's not the first thing on my mind. If I'm zoned in on business and that's what she calling, we finna figure out how we finna do some business, or just be a friend, or just meet this person and find out what she about. Blah blah blah. I mean, she could be something long term, but that's not the first thing I'm thinking during our first conversation. If it begins to evolve into that, okay, we can see where it's going. You know, so.
And if you don't connect, that's going to happen anyway. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what's the rush?
Right. And before I go too far, we got a couple more people on the line. I didn't get to get y'all during the introduction. If y'all don't mind letting us know who you are, Charlotte, North Carolina, your last 4 is 7595. We want to see if we got other men or women on the line. And we also have in Atlanta, Georgia, 7837 is your last 4.
This is Camille Jackson, 7837.
Okay, your name is Camille Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that name. Glad to have you on the call.
Thank you.
Kwame, is that you on one of those phones?
Yeah, you know, the 412 number, brother.
Okay, Pittsburgh. Okay. And 7595, who do we have on the call? We'll let you be shy. Keep moving. Any ladies want to chime in? We want to kind of keep this balance and go back and forth and get some male and female input. What don't you like about the Charlotte dating scene? Those who have dated and who have not spoken yet. We want to go ahead and hear your point of views. What don't you like about the Charlotte dating scene? This ain't the time to be shy. We can't see you. We're not going to hurt. We're not going to bite you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, who's this?
Oh, this is Brittany. I stayed up.
Okay.
So, what I don't like a young lady said earlier, the guys that actually do approach me, or the guys that are available, there's something wrong with them. Like, seriously wrong. I met one guy, he looked nice. Everything was fine, and he was telling me, oh, I'd like to stay out of trouble, and this, that, and the third. And I just happened to look down at his ankle, and he had an ankle bracelet monitor on. And I'm like, so do you like to stay out of trouble now? Or, like, how's this going? How's this happening?
Right.
He actually... So he was just like spitting a really good game, and I had already gave him my number before I even like happened to see something flickering, and I'm like, okay. And he was like, oh, I'll tell you that on a date. I looked him up, and for the past 3 years, he's been getting into like felony trouble. I'm like, so what happened? You know, and he's young. He's around my age. Yeah, he's around my age. I'm 26. He was 22, and I'm like, you've been getting in trouble since you've been legal. So it's just really, I'm like, the guys that are available, there's like something really wrong with them. Either they get in trouble, they're mentally ill. Like I had one guy, he was just staring off into space while he was talking to me, and I turned around and I was like, excuse me, spaceship, can I get him back for a second? Because he's kind of cute. He's like, who are you talking to? I'm like, what are you looking at? And he just told me he had like ADHD and he's a troubled youth and he used to set his house on fire and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, this is all within the first like 20 minutes of talking to him. And I'm like, how did I get here?
So your gripe is you're running into people who are currently in trouble with the law or who's not taking their medication.
Yes.
It's really deep.
That's what it sounds like. And where are you meeting these people?
Well, this was before I got a car. So I was meeting them, and I'm like, well, I can't really judge if somebody don't have a car because I don't have a car. But at least I have a job and they're like getting a job. I'm like, I understand, everybody has their rough moments in life. So yeah. I'm very open to like, oh, you don't have a job, but you're actively looking for a job or you're trying to make something better for yourself. I don't judge you. But when I loosen my standards in that sense, I just be getting like anything and everything, and I'm just smiling like, oh my gosh.
So did you meet him at the bus terminal is what you're saying?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I get it. Camille, appreciate that input too, Brittany. And I hope you feel better. Camille.
Yes.
Hey there, man. Yes, how you going with how you doing with the Charlotte dating scene?
Not too well. I do a lot of online dating. I guess it's hit or miss. I've had some good relationships come about from it. My ex-boyfriend that I broke up with maybe 4 months ago, was a good relationship, and it was from online dating. But I feel like when I go out, nobody's really, like, talking to people outside of the people they know, so you're almost forced to do online dating here.
Mm.
So, I don't know. Coming from Atlanta, I guess that's just different for me. So then it's a struggle for me because I don't like online dating.
You don't like it? So, tell us about one of your worst online dating meetings.
Well, I guess a lot of them is just, I guess the worst thing is that if you don't respond fast enough and then a guy is basically going off on you just because you didn't respond fast enough. And it's like, but I'm not sitting here waiting for you to send a message. Like, life goes on. So, I think that's a lot of the problem that I have with it. But I haven't, had any real bad interactions other than a lot of stuff like that.
That's good. That's good.
But there's a lot of good men out there, though. It's just finding the right one.
I agree.
Right. And I see somebody who just logged on from Salisbury, 8773. You care to say your name? Want to get everybody's input. Just feel free to keep on listening. If you want to chime in, feel free to do so. Let's bounce back to Marvin and Jason. We ain't heard from y'all in a quick second. Rasheed, I hope you see it. Well, I see you there, but I hope y'all listening good. Marvin.
Yes, sir.
Where are you based right now? What city are you in right now?
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach. How often do you get to Charlotte?
I get there on the weekends, pretty much. I do some business up there, some affairs, so I get there on the weekend.
Okay. So have you been dating when you come here?
No, not really. Just go and do what I got to do, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't really expect it. I like your group, That's really what I support your cause, and I like the people that's in this group. They're not really dating, but I have thoughts about dating. If you got a question about that, why I don't date, I got a lot of thoughts on it.
We're gonna have to hook you up, brother. I got you.
Okay, okay. Put
no, look,
me out there.
I'm gonna try. You got to do all the work now.
I gotta work. I gotta say something.
Yeah, you got to say everything. Jason, you might have some women on the call who listen and liking how you're talking. You know, Jason, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Yeah, man. Are you actively dating in Charlotte?
Yes, I've been trying the online dating thing. My last relationship maybe was probably like 4.5 months ago or whatever, and and basically I would honestly feel, and I mean everybody, just what I personally feel is that my encounters hadn't been of any type of extreme. More things that I've ran into is a lot of the relationships that I've ever been in, I get a phone call back after a while or months or years, and they say I should have stayed with you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's. I mean, I'm not trying, it's not trying to brag. I'm just saying, that means a lot to me, though. You know what I'm saying? Like in a humble way, it really means a lot to me. So that's what I would say. How it's been for me, and my relationships kind of has been like the whole concept of happily ever after is really misunderstood in the world. Men versus women, but I'm mainly speaking on the women part. The concept of happily ever after, like as it houses a relationship. I can't speak on marriage. I've never been married, and like for instance, use an example. My last relationship, majority of the time, I kept trying to convince her that I am real. This is real, and our happiness does not have to be tailored after what everybody else's happiness. Like, your girlfriend is happy right now.
Mm.
Okay, so that means that, it seemed like she was happy when her girlfriend was happy. But then when her girlfriend is having issues with her man or whatever, she kind of trying to make us have those issues, but we wouldn't have those issues at all.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we don't have them problems at all. Like, we don't argue. I'm just saying, I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, it's like, that's what I've noticed, and I constantly kept trying to say, like, perfection doesn't exist. Relationship is the structure is like a hardcover of a book, but the pages are blank. And I feel the two people who are in it are supposed to write the words on the pages as they go. It's not going to be scripted based off what the reality shows are saying, or your best friend met somebody from they used to go to school together in kindergarten, they rekindled and they just happy. And your story's not going to be like everybody else's. So that was my biggest thing. I kept saying, like, hey, this is your time. Like, you have to create your own storyline. Like, it's teamwork, and like that's what I would say. The people, even type of relationships maybe I've been in, but other than that, I don't, I don't do club because I don't drink. First off, so the club becomes boring. When you don't drink, you just see stuff of how it is. It's like, man, that's stupid. Like, I get sleepy and I just come home. Other than that, just work and work out, and you put everything you're supposed to do in your life is try to stay productive until you meet that woman. And that's what I do. Same thing as Marvin. I try to stay productive, working on the castle until I meet the queen. That's how I feel about it.
That's good. And
can I ask him one question?
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, and misery loves company. You get into a relationship and you happy, and old girl gets happy. Her friend ain't happy. That's like they just automatically zone in and try to just break that off. I don't know why. I can't.
Man.
But I experienced that over and over. It's like you should be happy. Matter of fact, sometimes they do act like they're happy for in the beginning, but once her time begins to shorten with them, and she spends a lot of time with you, and she's making sacrifices, and if it's your relationship, then she starts getting, in her feelings. Marvin, you had a question though.
Yes, I was going to ask Jason, I think it is, if one of the things he's saying is that one of the problems with dating is trying to live up to other people's expectations about what a relationship should be, if that's one of the barriers that he was experiencing.
Well, I mean, I say as the toughest part about getting older and trying to date is, first off, as I said before, I feel like, perfection don't exist. You're getting older, time has taught you that already. And, back in the day, they used to ask you, hey, how would you, if you can be with anybody, perfect man and woman, people, when you was younger, we would try to actually describe that. Now I'm older, I don't answer that question because it doesn't exist. The way I answer this, I can tell you what I cannot tolerate. That's with time, that's what I can tell you now. I would tell you what I cannot. I have zero tolerance for certain things. And after that, it's like, it's not come cutting people off. It's just, the point is, there's things I'm willing to accept, but there is some, everybody got a no-fly zone. Like, if I feel I'm positive, I can't deal with somebody who just always negative. That's going to mess up everything about me and how I'm living. So, that's what I'm saying, just by nature. So, as far as, when they get into a relationship and how they go about it and the standards and things of that nature, it's some people are just followers. They want to do what everybody else do, and you're trying to tell them, hey, this is your story. You're the author to do whatever you want. But they don't even know what it is. That's what I'm saying. They don't really know who they are because you got to disconnect from other stuff. That's why sometimes the best teacher of who you are is when you section yourself off from the group. When you get away from everybody, that's when you find out who you are and what you like and don't like. If you always run the streets, get paid, go to the club, drink, you do it over and over for years, when you get away from those people, then you find out who you are and what you like.
Right. I like what you said in regards to, what you can tolerate. You kind of zone into what you can tolerate, and that kind of weeds folks out. It's like, if we ain't going in the same direction, there ain't no sense to even entertaining it. Rashid, and we're going to bounce back to Adrian. We ain't heard from Kwame and a couple more callers that, we're yet to even hear their voice. Rashid, you there? You got some input, man?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm just, again, I'm taking it all in, and it all relates as far as my experiences have been with so-called dating scene. And for me, it's been more or less, I guess I've been more surprised at, how people truly represent themselves, and specifically in terms of the character. You really get to see a lot about a person's character when you go out and you meet people that you didn't have any kind of previous relationship with or anything. So, eventually you get to piece, how a person conducts themselves and how they, truly what their character's like. For me, that's what I look towards. I always want to leave somebody with the impression, whether I see them one time or many times. I always want to try to leave a good impression. I don't care if I ever see them again. So for me, that's important, and that's what that's kind of what I try to eye out. And like I said, through my experiences, quite a bit lately, I've been really kind of honing in on that aspect of what I kind of like and what I try to represent as well.
Yeah, me and you was chatting about something a couple of weeks ago. I'm not going to go into our conversation, what we was chatting about, but, about people being upfront about what they want too.
Right. And that's part of, that has a lot to do with, the character aspect that I was speaking on. For me, I've always been known, and I realize now that I ain't going to, there's some things I'm just never going to change about myself. And one of them is I'm just a pretty direct individual. And I do care about how people, it will make somebody feel, because I try to do it in a way that's disrespectful. But I know me, and sometimes I can be too direct simply because if I don't like something, I'm not going to fake it. And that's just the way I've always been. And, some people can't handle that. But I look for the same thing in others. I said all that to say that. I don't see why you need to compromise yourself and your character, even if I don't speak to you again or whatever. And I'm not just talking about dating, I'm just talking about in general. I deal with people all day, every day. And it just really, to me, it's not worth it. So I don't see what the harm is as long as if you really being true to self, then you're being true to somebody else. And there's a way you can carry yourself in a way where you don't never have to worry about compromising yourself. Simply because of how you feel or what you believe or what you're thinking. Mm-hmm. So I place a lot of emphasis on that because it helps me to be a better individual or how I deal with people.
I feel that.
So we were definitely talking about that. Huh?
Yeah. No, I was about to actually say Adrian's name. She started this off. We ain't heard back from her. We're trying to see where you are. We're going to come full circle. We're going to bounce to Kwame and Ron and a couple more people, and we're going to take it from there. Mm-hmm.
I'm still here.
Yes.
I do agree with the platonic relationship or trying to get to know somebody as a friend before trying to just jump into a relationship. That seems to be the hardest thing that most people can't understand because they're focused on, I really want to be in a relationship, and they're just focused on that one concept, and they miss getting to know the person. So I'm glad a gentleman actually, said that earlier.
Okay. Oh. Kwame? Oh, and we are going to give out some of these tickets to this upcoming concert as well. Those names will be coming up in a minute. Kwame.
Yes, sir.
You've been listening. Give you time to go ahead and, listen in. What's your feedback on what you've been hearing?
Some real good information. And so, some good statements what people were saying, and I guess what experiences they've gone through here in Charlotte. Coming down here, a few years ago, coming down here from a city that was kind of rough. I mean, seriously rough on dating. Coming down here was like kind of a breath of fresh air. At the same time too, me personally, I'm not kind of in that space. I like to come out and meet people, and definitely get to know people, male and female, just out, down here. And because again, my focus is like it was early. I'm trying to get that castle or make that castle, and also provide for my kids until they go off to school, and even then, help them out then. But for that, but again, that's where my focus is, just meeting folks and had some casual things here and there. But other than that, though, it's again, I like to meet people. Man. That's really what it's about. And again, I think that's I guess at a lot of people's age, I'm going to say roughly. I don't know if anyone's below the 30 range on the call. Is there, Tim?
I'm not sure. Brittany. Brittany's 26, you said.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 26.
Okay. Anybody else? Wait. Yeah, she ain't too far. Ain't no one too far from 30 and up. So basically, the 30 and up, again, we, things change for us, and the way things go out, especially again as we get older. Like I said, things do change, and attitudes and thought processes and how relationships should go, especially if depending on everyone's background too. Because again, if someone's getting out of a long-term relationship, / marriage, that could put your perspective in one way, or another person who hasn't really been in a relationship or has been in many relationships, your perspective is another way. But I think, there's a lot of people with a lot of different perspectives and a lot of backgrounds that come to Charlotte from everywhere. Right. That, it just, it's a matter of time. It's really it's really finding a lot of, finding each other. That's really what it is. I think Charlotte has a lot of potential. I meet a lot of, women with a lot of, possibilities. It's just a matter of just, again, when that time comes when I want to, just be, bam, this is it. Just getting the right one. But again, I just love it out here in Charlotte. That's all I'm gonna say. I just love it out here.
Right. Where are you from?
I came down here from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And so basically, it was like a Midwest.
Who was that asked that question?
Alyssa. And I'm from Cleveland, so I know the area.
Oh, so yes, indeed. Yep. Same type of thought process and environment. Yes, indeed. So basically, you coming down from there with that, and coming down here, the whole different, dynamic. And again, people up there are more closed. And it's funny too because I still connect with people on Facebook, and we'll have all these discussions, from up there, and I'm looking at all the people. I mean, the dynamic is different. The thought process is different. But but there are still similarities too. And I guess that's just overall about the relationships between men and women, especially black women and black women, about certain things like like I said, the dynamic in terms of standards, of course. That standard situation, I guess is one of those things you got to really work on. Really.
Right. Okay.
So do you find it? I'm sorry, I don't mean to hijack the call. I just have a quick question. Midwest to Midwest, do you find it hard to relate to women from, let's say, the South or other regions of the country?
It's really considered the East Coast, though, ain't it?
Yeah. See the thing. So first of all, in Charlotte, number one, I have yet to meet. I met maybe one woman who was
person that's from Charlotte.
That was a native in Charlotte. As a matter of fact, let me two. And two. And that's the one thing. First of all, that's number one. So basically, we're meeting people from all different areas, especially New York, the Philly, maybe from DC. And again, if they're coming from Atlanta, they really are from New York. So basically, I meet most of these folks that are from the East Coast. So I have the same type of flavor because I'm originally from Philadelphia. So I just think this is the same thing. I'm just meeting all these people. So basically that's the flavor I'm getting. Now when it comes to anybody else that's maybe something like Georgia or Texas or Florida, again, it's the relation and it's people. They're more open. They're more open versus what I was meeting dealing with up in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So basically, again, people, down here are a little more open. Now, the thing about it, again, my focus ain't trying to, hit it real quick. That ain't my goal, at all. Not to say, opportunity hasn't happened, and then that's not my goal. When I say, hey, how you doing, yada yada yada, and
right.
So basically from there, but at the same time, like I said, I like to meet, folks and just say, hey, have a good time and leave it at that.
I just find Southern men want you to be more, in my opinion, subservient. And it's always, what are you cooking? What are you doing? What? No, I can't relate to that. I'm just not used to that kind of vibe. So I just wondered if it was the same coming from the opposite.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it depends. Hold on, Kwame, for a quick second. It depends on the man again, and his outlook on what he wants. I want to catch a few more voices before we start winding this call down. Looks like we have some comments coming in too. Because me personally, I want a woman who know how to cook. Personally, I ain't trying to do all the cooking, and I'm not trying to microwave everything, and I'm not trying to have everything fast food. I think, that's a plus. It ain't necessarily a super necessity, but depending on what that man wants, yeah, that's definitely a plus. Just like he should be able to change a tire. Y'all get a flat and you want her to do it. So, I mean, you want him to do certain things that a man should do. Take out I'm not saying you, but, take out the trash or do the yard or whatever. So, yeah, I think he has the right to have some desires that he wants her to have as well. And, of course, it's going to vary from woman to woman.
Totally
if
agree.
She wants to do it, or even if she even has the ability to do it. But if she even has the willingness to learn, we can work with that. We can get some cookbooks and get in there together, But she got to have a willingness for a few things that I desire.
So true.
Or it ain't going to work.
Yeah. Again,
Okay.
that's that relaxed attitude. Laid back, which is cool.
Right.
Again, I think Tim, I put it this way. I know there was one sister that at the one joint y'all did with the game night.
Mm-hmm.
She had that rum cake, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that
Yeah.
joint, right?
I
Oh
remember.
man, yeah, she put her foot in that joint, man. I believe me, man.
We're gonna have
Bruh.
another one soon. The potluck.
Bruh, like
Yeah.
I said, if I had to ring my
Mhm.
pocket, bro, like I say, that joint was ooh.
So the way to your heart is to your stomach, like they say. The way to a man.
Yeah, brother. I want to say that rum cake was banging.
Give me some dressing or some banana pudding or some cheesecake. I'll marry her.
Oh my goodness.
Who is that? Ron?
Yeah.
What's your take, sir?
Yeah, I agree with the brother. And I think just to take it down one level deeper, and just my case, but my opinion is that's really showing the person that you care about them. That's the way I look at it. It's not always necessarily the cooking per se. Like the brother said, I'm going to do all the man stuff. Maybe there's not a lot of men that do that, but I definitely do all the man stuff. That's not a big deal, But it really deep down is really just saying I care about you. To me, and the only other point I'd really like to make, and it's really kind of for the ladies, that, but from an opinion standpoint, when I meet a lady, and one of my biggest pet peeves is when I hear a woman say that she doesn't need a man. And that just kind of drives me crazy. But because, men are built to be needed by a woman. So when, a woman either says or portrays that attitude that I don't need a man, I'm going somewhere where I feel like I'm needed.
So you want to feel needed in a relationship.
And that's not needy. That's needed. This is a big difference.
What do you mean when you say needed?
Hello.
What do you mean you say
Big
needed?
difference. I mean, to me, that's the very, going way back when, that's the very fabric of a man is that, to take care of his woman.
Yeah.
And so if she's going to start off by saying, I don't need you.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? That just changes like a man. That changes the whole dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So it's not enough that she wants you. She loves you. She has to need you.
I need me a woman.
Again, I didn't say need. We all need each other.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to argue. I'm really trying to understand the sentiment. How would she show you that she needs
Let me chime in real quick. You said it's want, not enough. What is your difference in her wanting him and not needing him in her life? For the question.
Well, I mean, if you're a grown woman, you're independent, you've been living on your own all this time, you may not necessarily need a person to take out your trash. You've been taking out your trash for years. It's not that hard. But you want a person. You want a helpmate, whatever, in your life because you want to share your life with his.
Well,
and I'm asking, is that not enough?
No. Well, let me ask you this, though. The need is not necessarily maybe physical or financial, but maybe she needs him emotionally or relationally.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It's too much focus around finance and and material things. It's not that. That's just the way we're built to, and just like a woman, needs a man in a lot of ways that that she thinks she can't do herself. She doesn't have the strength to do this or that or other. And women have the multitasking and all these other things that we don't do very well. So we need you for that.
Hey, I wanted to piggyback on that.
Who's that, Rashid?
I'm sitting. Yeah, it's Rashid.
Mm-hmm.
And just listening, and I'm thinking more so. A need can also be. It doesn't have to be anything physically done, but it can be, for me, more so emotionally and psychologically. Because somebody mentioned earlier, where do you draw the line, or where's the line where you really want to start dealing with someone on a serious tip, and not just hooking up. So I would think that you could find part of that connection kind of immediate with just that kind of vibe that you get. That, you know what, this is somebody that can strengthen me. I can strengthen them, and it's not about what I bring, you know, materially to the table or physically or whatever, but it's simply
both come to
being able to piggyback.
Emotionally, so that's a given. You know, let's just say you both come emotionally and you're whole. So you're not looking for them to, you know, to fill a void per se, but you compliment each other.
Compliment, yeah, exactly.
You compliment each other. You know, you shouldn't come into something looking for somebody to pick something for you. You know.
Yeah. Hey Tim.
Yeah.
Hey Tim, this is Jason. If you don't mind me, I just have one thing, is that, like, honestly, you know how I feel about it. First off, the meeting a female, that's kind of the easy part in general. Just meeting somebody, because men were visual. First off, you're beautiful, you're fine, and men can even agree with me and think back and just, women are just beautiful creatures. Like, we just look, sometimes you get hypnotized by how amazing you all are. It really is something, like, I kid you not, before we ever learn anything about your personality, flaws, or whatever, it just, before that moment, it's like it's like we say to ourselves, man, if I get that woman attention, I wouldn't talk to nobody else. But here's the thing where I think everything changes, you know. If you work hard to be successful at your job, fine, you get that opportunity, you get that job. But you can't keep that job. You got to work equally as hard to keep that job. It's work on both sides, but some people feel like the finish line is when I get in a relationship and everything else is, you know, like there's no work that has to happen in the meantime. I may be breaking them out. Look, I may be sacrificing the man code for saying this to women, but being honest, women, honestly, you all can get whatever you want from a man, and you would not believe. You would not believe.
Hey, Jason, you want me to mute you, man? You want me to mute you, man? You can't be telling them that, man.
I'm just kidding. I want them to be happy, even if I never meet them. It's perfectly fine, man. I want them to be happy in general. You all can get whatever you want from a man.
Jason, let me add to that too. Another thing is, a woman has the power to encourage a man to get what she wants.
I agree.
If they don't have it, if she knew the power of her words to build that man up, that dude probably think he can cross the Pacific Ocean based on her encouragement. But oftentimes they use those words to beat him down, and sometimes they think it's motivation, but it's not motivating. That's why he motivates himself up out the door, because she's not motivating, she's tearing him down. But if she used those words in the reverse, that dude, man, would think he's about to be Obama.
And
if she needed him, she wouldn't be tearing him down.
Yeah. So Tim, like I said, to me, it's almost, this should be a law, but you can't prove it, but it happens 10 out of 10 times. We can have what we want right now, but if I say forget it, I don't care, it doesn't matter anymore, it'll come right up to me. You still like me? But it's so backwards. But you just think about it, like how many times you really wanted something, somebody, and you couldn't have it. When you say, I don't care, I'm not worried about, you turn your back on it, it comes to you. To me, that is the concept. As a woman can have whatever they want, it sounds crazy and contradictory, but don't ask a man for nothing. It sounds crazy. You can have whatever you want by not asking a man for anything. But think about it. If you think about what I'm saying deeply, what I'm really saying is this: you since you don't seem like you need something, a man by nature, every time we speak, we're always trying to fix something. Think about it. Every time you hear a man talk, he always trying to fix something. And women, every time they talk, it's really detailed. They talk about emotion. And they always throwing their ideas and emotions on a man. But why do they constantly do it? Even if they know the answer to their own thing they're saying, but why do they throw it to a man? Because the man, when he come out, he's going to bring clarity to the whole thing. Even if she knew the answer, she just wants somebody else to hear it, to confirm it.
The thing is, sometimes they're not looking for answers. And that's the thing. Sometimes some men messed up because he wants to come in and fix stuff, and sometimes she just want to be heard or understood. You're not hearing.
We can get better at that. You know, I agree.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
And at the same time, Dave, you can encourage a man to do, great feats. You can encourage a woman as well, because you can tear a woman down emotionally, especially if she allows you to. And the same with a man, he has to allow you to tear him down. But you can build a woman up
say, honey,
the same way.
I need you to listen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right there.
So
understand where she's coming from.
Exactly. So overall, man, if nothing else I've learned from my relationship and stuff, and really recently, is how different men and women are. Just anatomy, just mentally, that we're so different. But understand, if the world was meant for a man to be with a woman, then there has to be a way we create a form of communication that works between us. Because by nature, individually, we're totally different. You know what I'm saying? Like men use the reason we get in trouble. I can tell you, the reason we get in trouble so many times. I have get in trouble so many times when having a discussion with your woman is because the woman want to hear your feelings, and she wants you to come to her and explain, say the long drawn story. Men, we try to use the least amount of words to get to our point, and we always end up saying a word wrong that makes them emotionally get mad. You know, exactly.
Jason,
we're not used to talking about our feelings. We're not used to talking about our feelings.
Jason, where are you from? Are you from Louisiana?
Yeah, all my family lives in Louisiana.
Okay. All right.
So, you know, it's like that's what I relate, and I say to women, you can get whatever you want from a man by not asking him, but then on the flip side is just the word affirmation. Whenever he does it, if you make him feel like, you know, it's crazy. If you want him to be the cooker because you don't like cooking, you can do that without ever telling him, I don't cook. There's a way you can get him to cook every time, and you never have to tell him that you don't even know how to cook. All you gotta say is when he make mac and cheese, you say, "Oh, baby, I've never tasted mac and cheese like this before."
In my life.
I'm just saying, if you make it feel like his food was amazing, he'll come in there, he'll get in there 10 out of 10 times. Oh yeah, I want my baby to feel good again about that mac and cheese I did last time. It makes him. I kid you not.
Okay, but Jason, I'm gonna say this though. She can encourage you all she wants to. I'm not cooking all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's not all the time.
If you had a right woman, then she would recognize, you know, you do so much for me, it's only right me do it for you. Like she'll have that channel in her. But
I like what you said though.
You know,
that's
how I feel.
I like what you said in regards to, you know, how you don't have to ask for anything, and sometimes if the man is not stingy, because you got some selfish men who would love to have a woman who never asks for anything because he don't want to do nothing anyway in regards to coming up off any money. But a man who really want to be a man and take care of his woman, if he sees the need, he's definitely going to want to get in there and fix it, or you know, some kind of relieve her of that pain or whatever stresses that may be bothering her. You know,
I agree.
A woman who's always like this one woman I met, I ain't gonna say too long ago how long ago it was, but you know, we couple days in, and okay, your birthday coming around. I understand. I mean, I don't know you like that. Like we like 2-3 days in, you know, you get one probably next year, but I don't know you, so happy birthday. Hopefully that suffices. But a couple of days, not even a week, I'm hearing about all. I mean, it ain't like you're going through something. It's just like the world owe you something. You know, your problems, your bills, and all this and this and that and the other. It's like, man, every time I talk to you, I got to hear this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what are you trying to hint at that I should do these things for you or something like that? And if that's every time we talk, we're not going to be talking too much later.
I'm trying to fill a void that didn't come from you. That's a void.
Right.
Came way before that.
We ain't been talking. Let's just say that. I mean, because it's a difference. People go through things. I've been through things, you know, some terrible times. But at the end of the day, some folks around me, they didn't know a thing was going on in my life. They didn't know because it wasn't their fault. It wasn't, you know, that was my thing to go through and better, not them. You know, all is well.
That's why I said the thing about cooking. You know, for me, it's just showing that you care. It's just like telling me to make sure I close my coat on the way out the door or something. You know, I can cook very well, so it's not that. You know what I mean? It's just, okay, I care for you. I want to make sure you eat. You know what I mean? That's it's more the concept than the actual. I need you to go in there and be submissive and, you know, cook because I said so. You know what I mean? That's not it. I probably can cook better than most women, but you know that ain't the point.
I was cooking 4 courses at about 12, 13 years old, man.
Thanksgiving dinner's the whole nine.
A bunch of kids in the house. Let me pause here for a quick second. We got a couple more calls coming in, and If you don't want to say anything, okay. But from Winder, Georgia, 5498. Who is that? We also got a Charlotte, North Carolina, 7595. Salisbury, 8773. Do y'all, any of y'all three want to say anything? Y'all been here listening? Y'all want to say anything?
Hey,
Not gonna wait too long.
Five. I'd like to know where is a good place to meet these type of guys.
Now, who is this again? Who is this again?
This is the 7595. This is Candace.
Candace. Okay. Glad to have you on the call. And you said where's a good place to meet them? At Charlotte Execs event. That's definitely a great place. I mean, I would suggest other men may or other women may have some suggestions, but I say go somewhere where something you like to do. Because, I mean, if you go into an orchestra and you really don't like that stuff, you're going to be digging with, feeling a dude who all into Beethoven and you ain't feeling the conversation. So I say go somewhere that, you wouldn't mind going often. If you like the gym, go to the gym. You like the bowl? I mean, tennis. I say seek out some things that you truly like to do. So if you find somebody with a common interest, y'all can enjoy them together. If you just like sitting in the park, go sit in the park. You'll find somebody sitting there eventually. That's my suggestion. But of course, men love things that cause camaraderie, sports, things like that. So, yeah.
And this is Anton at 8773. How you doing, man? How's everybody doing?
Anton, glad to have you on the call, brother. What's up?
Not much, man. I came in a little late. I'm basically a single dad now. I've been a single dad now for a few years, raising my daughter. And just wanted to hear the conversation. So I enjoy it, and it's good dialogue on both sides. So just wanted to chime in, let everybody know I appreciate it. It's good stuff to hear. Trying to get back into the dating scene. So just kind of wanted to hear what women think and how they think.
Well, before we give out these tickets, let me ask you real quickly. How has the dating scene in Charlotte been for you?
Tim, I can tell you the truth. I haven't done a whole bunch of it. Being a single dad of a teenage daughter, you just don't have a lot of time for it. Example was this Sunday. I really wanted to join the event, but I actually had a couple of teenage girls here with us, along with my daughter. So sometimes it just doesn't allow me to do a lot of the things that you guys do. But I'm trying to make sure that I do attend the next event. So I don't do a whole bunch of dating, but I'm trying to get my feet wet back into the scene again.
Okay. Well, a good thing about our events, man, is like it's low pressure, no pressure. You come out and meet some people. They're not expecting, unless it's speed dating, of course. They're not expecting that necessarily. Just shake a hand. Y'all may be, y'all work together, don't even know it. Something like that. So it could evolve into something. That's the hope. 5498. Winder, Georgia. You want to say anything? It's okay. All right. We're going to end up winding this call down. We like to keep them up on the hour.
Quick question.
Hold on a second. That's Brittany. Hold on a second. We like to keep these calls under an hour, but if they go over a little longer, then so be it. But we understand this is a work night for many people. And just going to go ahead. We got a gospel concert coming up December 2nd. I talked about it at the last event. I told Nikki, I said, Nikki, you got some concert tickets coming. Because Nikki is always on the call, like she is right now. She's at another event, but she's still on the call, faithfully listening. She calls one time from a soccer game. Nikki is chiming in and gives feedback when we need it, and she's just there. Stacy called me the other day, and she sent me a text. She said, "This your accountability text in regards to basically saying keep your butt focused on that website so we can get these events going." And I didn't ask for that, and I appreciate that because like Rashid was saying, he's direct and he like direct. I'm direct. I don't mind somebody being direct with me. So I hope the people that get these tickets go to the event together. That's my hope. And I'm going to give you all the information afterwards. So, Stacy, we got a ticket for you. The event is December 2nd, and I think we spelled out who's going to be there in one of the last emails. Dashell is also faithfully on the call. She's on right now. Stacey, are you still there? Let's see where she is. Stacey, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here,
Okay.
but I can't go.
You can't go?
No, you know Fridays are my busiest days at my salon. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. We can give you a ticket to somebody else. Well, if you can go, Michelle, if you can go, and y'all let me know if y'all can't, 'cause we'll give them out next week. Y'all just text me if y'all can or can't go. Stacy, not Stacy, but Dashelle. Deshay, are you on the phone?
Hi, yes, I'm still here.
Okay, we got Deshay on the phone. We got a ticket for her, and we got a ticket for, 2 tickets for Nikki. We got 2 tickets for Nikki. And we got a ticket for Bronwyn, one of my new friends that I've met through Charlotte Execs. So, obviously, we got another ticket to give away, probably next week or some type of trivia or something like that. Make it, fun to give it away. And then I'll put y'all in contact directly with the promoter who's doing the event. And y'all check it out. Hopefully y'all can go together. That will wrap up this call unless somebody else has some feedback. We're going to edit all this part out. Don't worry about it. If anybody else has any feedback on tonight's subject, feel free to chime in, and we're gonna break this out. But yeah, Nikki, you got two tickets coming, and Bronwyn. Matter of fact, Bronwyn, we'll give you the 2 tickets. We can go ahead and close that out now. We'll give you 2 tickets. You find somebody to go with you, and y'all can go 4 deep like that. And I see y'all on the call now. Anybody else has anything to chime in about?
I have one quick question.
What is that?
Okay. So earlier, I don't remember who it was. Earlier they said that you can get a man by asking him to do something, but not asking. I guess I kind of screwed that up a little. I'm sorry. So there's someone that I'm selling like food because I cook a lot, and so I'm trying to get him to buy in. I already made 2 plates and everything, loves it, and all that other stuff. Made a cheesecake, blah blah blah. But I'm like, how do you? I feel like that's kind of reverse psychology. How do you get them to like want something, but don't say, are you gonna buy into it? Like pressure them. Does that make any sense?
Somebody else can answer, but I definitely hope nobody's intent to go into a relationship is to just try to get stuff from anybody. But if you just happen to be in a relationship and they see something that you need or something, it can probably be a little bit organic. You get to know him, you get to know you, but going into it just to try to get them to do something, unless I heard you wrong. I mean, you're not trying to go and manipulate somebody to do something you want them to do.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly it.
Okay. Yeah. You don't want to be a manipulator, because if you find that out, he really ain't gonna want you.
Yeah. No, I wasn't trying to get him to date me or anything. I'm just like, I was trying to get him to actually.
Who was that laughing?
That's my bad. That was me, man.
Yeah, okay.
No.
That's a woman laughing.
Yeah. For me to cook for him for a week, like I do weekly meal plans, and I'm like, okay.
Okay. All right. And Stacey, I do understand that you do. She got 2 jobs, so I understand that Friday comes, you got to get that salon money. Totally understand. Yes. Don't go into the situation trying to get, but give. Brittany. Yeah, we're going to end this call, and we're going to edit a lot of this last part out. And hopefully we'll have y'all back next week, next Wednesday. And y'all find out the topic tomorrow, man. It's called, about men going elsewhere to look for a woman to treat them like a king and stuff like that. So the site will definitely be ready tomorrow. and the video clip is up on there. So hopefully y'all like the site, and hopefully y'all like the video, and hopefully y'all be back tomorrow to talk about it. That's it. I'm not going to the concert. Hopefully those who do go to the concert enjoy it. And again, I hope y'all can meet up and go together. And hopefully I see some of y'all next weekend in Charlotte, game night and bowling and stuff like that. And just keep your ear to the site and we'll go from there. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for tuning in to Charlotte Execs After Dark, where we discuss relationships, business talk, and real life. We'd love for you to join us live. Visit charlotteexecs.com for more information. Until next time, enjoy life.